Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing? Welcome back to Man City Unplugged, your very own Man City fan channel. Wow, I mean, Carlo Ancelotti said before the game that he has a plan. He has a plan in mind for City, and I thought Ancelotti, with all of his experience, there must be something up his sleeve. But then I didn't think that the plan was long throw-ins. The plan was catch City on set pieces. The plan was park the bus like Inter Milan and hit us on the break. I was a bit fearful of that plan as well as the game panned out as the game went on, like 45th minute, then the second half, 60th minute, 70th minute. I mean, the defense, Everton's defense was so tight, there was literally no space. I mean, Guardiola was just sat there and he was just discussing things with Guan Malilo. He was figuring out moves like a chess player. How do we find space? There was no space at all. Gabriel Jesus dropped deep. Sometimes Foden played up front. Sometimes Sterling played centrally. I mean, Fernandinho was making forward runs more and more, but there was no space at all. I mean, whatever Guardiola tried, there was no space to be found at all. I mean, until Mahrez came on, and then that thing. I mean, with the introduction of Mahrez, what happened was Foden played centrally, and the moment Foden is playing centrally, he was literally driving through Everton's defense, and he was shooting on sight. I thought that Pep Guardiola gave Foden, the instructions to just shoot on sight. That's what Mahrez was telling him when he just came on in the 75th minute. So Foden was shooting on sight. He drew a save from the keeper, and then he just hit one a bit wide. So, and then with Foden playing centrally, what it did was, I mean, Mahrez was really maintaining the width before that, and I'll speak about Sterling in a while when we go into our playing ratings. By the way, Sterling was crap in this game. He was probably not the best player at all. I mean, with Foden playing today out wide, it was a bit of a waste. I thought, he was not able to pick those spaces, because yes, out wide there was space, but Everton were defending narrow, and City were trying to play those 1-2s, trying to put the ball into the box. I mean, Yerry Mina, Ben Godfrey. I mean, the size of the Everton defense, crosses were not working, the 1-2s were not working. Everton's defense was so tight knit that there was no space at all. Ultimately, Gundogan netted the ball in. I mean, it was just wonderful play, I would say, from City to get the first goal. And then the second followed, obviously, after the first goal. It was the 85th minute, and then Everton had to open up, and then the second goal was just an inevitability. I mean, before I go into the player ratings, I'll just speak to you about something. Yeah, space, positional sense. Guardiola, he emphasizes things about space so much. Guardiola's positional play is all about finding space. When Ancelotti said, we had a plan. I mean, literally up to 60th, 70th minute, I thought the plan was just target City with long throw-ins, sneaker set piece and all. But the plan was to frustrate Guardiola. And how do you frustrate Guardiola? The best way to frustrate Guardiola is limit the space. Don't give Man City any space to operate. Limiting space to Guardiola is like removing oxygen from the aquarium. The fish will just start getting frustrated. It will, oxygen is like, removing oxygen from an aquarium is almost like killing the fish. That's how Guardiola will feel when you remove space from him. And ultimately, the reason why Guardiola got that goal was Laporte, the tactical masterclass which I was talking about, which you would see the title of this stream as well, is Laporte. Laporte suddenly started making runs from deep, from the defense into the attacking positions. Laporte got into the box once or twice even before the goal. So suddenly, since Laporte came into the box, making runs from the defense, Everton players didn't know what to do. Everton had planned for Fernandinho making those runs. Fernandinho made some two excellent runs into the box. One should have led to a goal, and Sterling was scrap. I'll come onto Sterling in a bit. But when Laporte came into the box, Everton players had no clue what to do, whom to mark. Suddenly, you have Fernandinho making runs from the deep in the box. Suddenly, you have Laporte in the box, running into the box with the ball. So Everton players didn't know what to do, whom to mark. That caused a bit of confusion. And then Foden was making excellent runs off the ball. Gabriel Jesus was making excellent runs off the ball. You know, people praise City's movement a lot. I mean, for the goals, but the real movement for City is off the ball. That is not seen on camera many times. The amount of times Phil Foden makes those runs on the outside, Raheem Sterling makes those runs on the outside. The amount of times Gundogan makes those runs, providing another outlet. The amount of times Zinchenko goes on the outside and doesn't get the ball. Those are the things which we don't see on the camera, and those are the things that result in City scoring most of the goals. City finding space and scoring most of the goals. We'll just look into the player ratings now. Jack Steffen for me. Look at the heat map again. Yes, Everton was sitting in a back. I don't know how much it was. It was as if that 20 players were playing on the pitch. There was no space at all. Everton were really defending very, very compactly, but Stefan was. I thought Stefan was really comfortable on the feet. I mean, in the comparing from the first FA Cup game to now, Stefan has become so much comfortable on the feet. He didn't do a mistake with the ball at his feet, even in tight situations. I mean, I thought, why are you giving this guy and a new guy ball in those tight situations? But Stefan asked for the ball in tight situations, took the ball. Once when Calvert-Lewin was on to Stefan, he still took the ball. Manipulated it, played it on. Stefan's learning, no mistake with the ball at all. And then for the corners, he was really sharp. He was always coming out. For the free kicks as well, he was really commanding in the box. The only mistake he did was, he came out to clear the ball once, and the ball just wobbled a bit and he couldn't clear the ball. That could have been a big mistake, but then I think he learned from it. So Jack Steffen for me, an almost flawless game. He didn't have. I mean, it's wrong to say he didn't have much to do. There were long throw-ins against Cheltenham. We considered a long throw-in. The set pieces and all. Sigurdsson was there. So corners and all with Yerry Mina side. So he was commanding in the box. He didn't put a foot wrong, I would say. When you saw Jack Steffen, it gave me so much confidence. Yes, this is a goalkeeper which you can rely on. That's how much he has improved from the first day until now. So it was absolutely fantastic from Jack Steffen. No mistake at all. Zinchenko, I mean, Zinchenko again. The part played by Pep's fullbacks here is really interesting. Kyle Walker, he stayed back. It was Everton were playing two strikers up front, and Kyle Walker stayed back. I think it was obviously it was to shield both the centre backs from Richarlison space and Calvert-Lewin space. So Walker stayed back, but Zinchenko was the one who was overlapping continuously on that left-hand side. Zinchenko was absolutely amazing today. The runs he's making on the outside, the positions he was picking up, his positional intelligence. When Sterling was going on the inside, Zinchenko was on the outside. When Sterling was on the outside, Zinchenko was on the inside. Sometimes Zinchenko is bending his run from out to in, sometimes from in to out. His starting positions, the positions is ending up and giving options to people. Whenever Gundogan or I mean, whenever Gundogan or Sterling had the ball on that side, Zinchenko was always the option. How much ever crowded City was, how much ever crowded the space was, there was no space, but Zinchenko was finding space when it was non-existent. Literally, he was always finding an outlet. I think that's why Pep really wants fullbacks who can tactically understand the concepts of positional play and space. That's why Mendy doesn't play, because I thought Mendy would start today, because Mendy started in all of the other FA Cup games, and Mendy had decent games. Even against Fulham, Mendy had a decent game. But again, that's the thing, today Everton didn't concede City with any space. So when there is no space, you need to have a player who can pick up those intelligent positions. You need to have a player who can pick up positions that can cast a doubt in the opponent's minds. Digne, for example, should No, Digne was on that side. So Godfrey on this side, on Zinchenko's side. So Godfrey, for example, he had doubts. Which do I go in with Raheem Sterling, or do I track Zinchenko? And many times, he wasn't able to make a decision, and Zinchenko was the one who always found space on the outside. It was because of Zinchenko that City had some really good creative moves in the match, and defensively he was winning headers which he was not supposed to win. He was winning headers against Godfrey, Yerry Mina, and people like that. It's just desire and perseverance to perform in a team where I think he's the least limited player in terms of skills and ability on the ball. But what he is not limited in is his perseverance, his determination to prove it day in and day out to himself more than anyone else, to keep on improving day in and day out. So Zinchenko, in a Champions League game, I think I'll start Zinchenko. But then there is Cancelo, so maybe I would start Cancelo and Kyle Walker. But Zinchenko is really good left back. I think seeing Zinchenko's performances, do we even really need to buy a left back in the summer? Laporte, just look at his heat map. I know Everton played really deep, and so both of City's defenders will have, high heat map, especially up the pitch. But then Laporte was the reason why City scored the goal. Laporte stuck the ball beautifully, and the keeper saved, and then Gundogan was there to nick it in. But Laporte again was really eschewed on the ball. His passing range is back. In the past games, I thought Laporte's passing range was a bit off. He always was doing one mistake, not many, but one mistake every match. But today Laporte was literally flawless. One-on-one situations against Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison, excellent. He knew when to do the foul. He always considered fouls in less dangerous areas. He was I would say today Laporte did a bit better than Ruben Diaz, especially because Ruben Diaz gave away a few fouls that were unwanted, but Laporte was really clinical. It was as if the real Laporte is back, the Laporte of 2 seasons back before he got injured. He looks sharp, he looks quick in his mind, making decisions, knowing which positions to take up in front of the attacker, knowing when to foul the attacker, not giving away needless fouls. Again, a high rating of 7.4 for Laporte. Ruben Diaz. See the heat map. When you compare Laporte's heat map with Ruben Diaz's heat map, yes, Laporte is a bit more advanced on the pitch. That is understandable because Laporte is better on the ball than Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz is very, very better, but Laporte is very, very good on the ball, but Laporte is the best left-footed centre back in world football. So that's what Laporte is. So Laporte played a bit higher up he carried the ball a bit higher up the pitch, but Ruben Diaz was very physical. I would say he gave it back to Calvert-Lewin. He gave it back sometimes to Richarlison. He was strong in the air. The only thing with Ruben Diaz is he maybe conceded one or two unnecessary fouls. That is my one criticism, because there will be certain teams, West Brom, Everton, where their entire strategy is based on sit back and nick a goal on a set piece. And when a team comes with that strategy, you can't afford to give away free kicks. Especially they have Sigurdsson, and they have Yerry Mina and Godfrey and all of those kind of players. You can't defend set pieces against Yerry Mina, for example, is so tall. By the way, I didn't mention against the goal line clearance which Zinchenko did from a Yerry Mina header. I think, yes, it was in the first half, 44th minute. That was very good play. So Ruben Diaz, 7.4 again. Kyle Walker was very sharp today. He tracked back Richarlison. Sometimes he tracked back Luca Dean. He on the counter, if Everton players are going, Walker was on his bike. He was just, this is what we missed against Man United. If Walker played, we would have won against Man United. At least we would have not lost that game. Just look at his heat map. You will not see him much advanced down the pitch. Look at this red heat map. Where is it? It's just in Everton's half, especially. So Pep told him not to venture forward too much, just to pick his runs when he will venture forward, but he was always available on the counter attack. He was always available to prevent the counter attacks. I think this is what Pep will look to do even in the Champions League. Play Cancelo on that side, give Cancelo the license to go forward on the left hand side and tell Walker to hold back, especially against a team like Dortmund, which have Sancho, Haaland on the counter. If someone can handle Haaland, it's Kyle Walker. His physicality, his pace, anything you tell Kyle Walker can handle. So Kyle Walker also had an excellent game against 7.2. Gundogan. What can I say about this man? He was hard working. He always constantly trying to find spaces. Yeah, sometimes his final ball was off. Today it was off the mark, but then he constantly tried to find spaces. And but for the goal, no other player would have made that run. When Laporte stuck the ball really well, goalkeeper makes a save, tips it onto the bar, and then maybe only Aguero or a really good center forward, really experienced center forward would have reacted to the rebound in the way Gundogan did. Again, I remember what Pep says always about Gundogan. He says it's a sense of goal. It's a sense of goal that is unique, especially about Gundogan, about Phil Ford, and about these two players, especially. The sense of goal is amazing. But then Gundogan was really good in his defensive work. He nicked the ball back at least twice or thrice from the Everton players at the inside City's box. So his tackling was really clean. Sometimes he was providing cover when Fernandinho went forward. He was slotting in as a CDM. But again, the positions he took, the runs he was making, he was always there trying to play that 1-2 with Raheem Sterling on that side. Gundogan again perfect, nothing wrong for him. Maybe one or two misplaced passes in the first half, but apart from that, Gundogan was absolutely perfect. Fernandinho, he rolled back the years again for me. I said this a couple of months ago, actually, when he played. I think it was against Porto. It was 4 or 5 months ago in November or something. But again, today, Fernandinho, he bossed the midfield. A midfield where he's the oldest player, probably at 35, 36 in that midfield. And he bossed the midfield. He ran the midfield. Some of the runs he's making inside the box. Wow. Maybe Fernandinho was 27, 28, 29 in his prime. He would have maybe had 10 goals this season. That's how I thought, the runs he was making from midfield. He was taking on players, he was dribbling past players. The only thing I'm surprised is he was not taking shots, but other than that, he as usually committed fouls, tactical fouls, which are very necessary when you're playing against a team which is looking to hit you on the counter. Then two specific things Pep did in this game: played Fernandinho, told Kyle Walker to sit back. Two things for very, very important reasons. Rodri is not there at that level yet where he can, make those tactical fouls without reading a yellow card, reading the position of the game, timing your runs, when to go forward and all. And Fernandinho is more mobile as well. And I think Pep knew that, against a rigid defense, you would need for a CDM who could make runs into the box, but you would also need a CDM who would have a lot of mobility to cover a lot of ground. Fernandinho was on to Richarlison all day long, all day long. Richarlison could not escape the clutches of Fernandinho. He didn't allow Richarlison to run on to Ruben Diaz or Aymeric Laporte. Most of the times, 90% of the times, he just managed Richarlison absolutely well. Bernardo Silva, I don't quite agree with this rating of 6.6. Bernardo Silva for me, I mean, Bernardo Silva in all the games, if you see, he gets a very low rating, 6.6. When the team average is more than 7, he always gets below average ratings. The reason for that is Bernardo Silva does all the dirty work. Bernardo Silva is the engine. Why the City team functions so well. He runs up and down, up and down. I've seen, just look at the positions which Bernardo Silva is taking. Nearby Ruben Diaz, nearby Aymeric Laporte is taking the centre back position, is constantly running up and down the wing. I mean, sometimes when Walker goes forward, Bernardo Silva is trying to provide Walker with options. Sometimes he's trying to overlapping and trying to provide Phil Foden with options. Sometimes when Walker is out of position, Bernardo Silva is the one who's running back, is going back and taking the ball from Stefan when Laporte is making those runs forward. I mean, Bernardo Silva is that kind of player who is the most critical element of this positional play system which Pep plays, I think, because whoever vacates any position mostly on his side, he is the one who fills it in. He's the one who slots it in. And Bernardo Silva made some excellent runs into the box today. There was It was a pity that there was no one to whom he could pass to or he could flash it across the box. That is because Raheem Sterling was not making good enough runs. So I don't agree with this rating. Bernardo Silva had a good game actually, if you ask me. Phil Foden, I mean, what is the position that this guy cannot play? I think he can play all the positions across the front five, and also he can play left back, he can play left wing, right wing, striker, central attacking midfielder, box to box midfielder. He could play a left back. If you ask him, I think he'll learn how to play a right back as well. I mean, people questioned about why Phil Foden is not being allowed to play as many minutes by Pep Guardiola in the last 2 seasons. Even this season, in the last few games, people were questioning why was uh, Pep Guardiola, why is he having Phil Foden on the bench and things like that. Pep Guardiola has managed Phil Foden perfectly well. He's not burnt out. You look at Mason Greenwood, for example. He's having a really bad season, not managed well. He was almost being played in every game, and I think he's suffering from a burnout. So Phil Foden, Pep is like really giving him the optimum amount of game time. He exactly knows how much he needs to play, how much he needs to sit on the bench, when does he need to come. He's managing his hours really well. Just not the playing minutes. You can see Foden has grown in his tactical awareness as well. The positions he's taken up, you can see on the heat map. Excellent positions, left, right, swapping with Sterling into the box. See how many touches he has had inside the box. Left, right, in through the center. I still feel that Foden is really good when playing through the center or when he's cutting in off the left. It's not that effective from the right. In this match, he played on the right for some time, but he was not at all effective. But when he's playing through the middle, especially when Mahrez came in the 75th minute, everything changed. Foden was suddenly having so much of space. I was like, from where is this space coming from suddenly? We had people like Gundogan and Bernardo Silva operate, but no space. Where is the space coming from? It's the awareness of Phil Foden. There are some moments where he was making space with his cute turns and things like that. Foden and his left foot. Wow. I think after Messi, Phil Foden has the best left foot. His left foot is better than Mahrez as well. I mean, every time he strikes it, even if he misses the goal, it's just by a little whisker. The way he turns, the way he doesn't lose the ball, the way he's strong in the tackle, everything perfect. His work rate in the game was excellent. Yeah, he had a fantastic game overall, I would say. In a game where there was no space, he created space, and that's the hallmark of the very best players, the very top players. Carlo Ancelotti said before the match, we're planning for the City match like I used to plan against Barcelona when I was at Real Madrid. And when he said that, people didn't understand. There, Messi was there, Xavi was there, but here who was there? So Carlo Ancelotti indirectly means that there is Phil Foden who creates space, who has a great left foot, just like Messi. So I mean, one wonderful from Phil Foden. Again, if you can create space, if you can have time on the ball when there is no space available, when you can make those tactically intelligent runs, when you can play 3-4 positions inside of a match, switching very fluidly, that really tells you a lot about where you're in your development as a player. Phil Foden, excellent. Probably one of the really good games of the season. Gabriel Jesus, again, relentless work rate. People criticize Gabriel Jesus often for lack of goals, but his hold up play. I mean, in a game where there was no space, Gabriel Jesus was protecting the ball so well. His close control is, I think it's as good as Roberto Firmino. It's even better as Roberto Firmino. One of the special things about Gabriel Jesus is, yes, goal scoring, he's a bit limited. He should learn to be more clinical in front of goal. But other than that, his body strength, the way he turns, the way he protects the ball, his close control is one of the best in the Premier League and one of the best in Europe, I would say. Such close control is very, very difficult to get. People say Leroy Sané is very good. Gabriel Jesus for me has a better close control than Leroy Sané. He just needs to develop that end product. I've always felt that with Gabriel Jesus, if he develops that end product, he will be the next Ballon d'Or winner for City. I rate him so highly. But Gabriel Jesus had a good game. Yes, he didn't score goals, but he was so much hard working. He was on to Yerry Mina all day long. All day long, he was fighting for every ball with Yerry Mina. He roughed Yerry Mina up. It was like Wonderful center forward play from Gabriel Jesus, I would say. He protected the ball very well. He allowed Sterling and Foden to make runs of him. Uh, I mean, he literally created space sometimes by coming deep into the midfield to get the ball, which meant that sometimes Yerry Mina followed him into the midfield, which vacated the space back there a bit. He did everything. You look at his heat map; he's everywhere almost. Sometimes he's collecting the ball from the left back, the right back, the center backs. I mean, the only mistake defensively which Gabriel Jesus did in this entire year, I think, is was with United giving away that penalty in the box. Other than that, every game defensively, I mean, which striker can do a work rate as Gabriel Jesus? Can Haaland do this much work rate every game? I doubt. That's why people like Roberto Firmino are special. That's why people like Gabriel Jesus are special. Their work rate is excellent. You don't see Roberto Firmino, for example, score so many goals. It's the same with Gabriel Jesus. But Gabriel Jesus is the one who makes the system tick, who makes the City cog move really smoothly. He's the one who becomes a nuisance for the defenders and allows all the silky players, allows all the other players to the paint the blank canvas with extreme beauty. So Gabriel Jesus almost a 7. Very good. Now Raheem Sterling. I don't agree with the ratings here. Gabriel Hills and Raheem Sterling given the same ratings. You see Raheem Sterling's heat map, see his work rate. Not found too much on the pitch. Yes, he's found a bit on the right side, but other than that, nothing. He's doing nothing. And Fernandinho made that run in the 60th minute, I think, 64th minute, sometime like that. Fernandinho made that run, and he played a 1-2 with Sterling, and Sterling was in. The shot which Sterling stuck, yes, the goalkeeper made a brilliant save, but goalkeeper should not have got the chance to make a save. It was a scruffy shot. He scuffed that shot as well. It was not a clinical finish from Sterling. That's where the goalkeeper saved that shot. He literally scruffed it. I mean, this is the problem with Raheem Sterling for me. What? Just imagine this is against Bayern Munich or a Dortmund, 80th minute, and I mean, 65th minute, 70th minute, Sterling scuffs a shot like that, or he misses an open goal. Like we have seen numerous times. He missed it against Lyon. He missed it a lot of times. What will you do? I mean, one missed chance and you're out of the Champions League. That's how ruthless the tournaments are. Even today, yes, City scored, that's fine. But what if Everton would have scored and sat back with that rigid defense? It was good Everton didn't score a goal because the defense was tiring. But if Everton scored a goal, the defense would have been re-energized. They would have played with even more venom and they would have defended even more tightly because the energy a goal gives to a team that is literally sitting back all game is immense. You can't. It is just a fuel that really prepares a team for everything literally. So when a team literally defends deep, you should take your chances. You miss one and it's going to be like very very difficult. Oh, let me put on Sterling's heat map again. Yes, and so if you can see here, there's no work rate from Sterling as well. Not at all tracking back. He needed to track back actually, but he didn't track back. There were occasions down the side when Everton had a counter attack longs, but he didn't track back. But that's not the thing. This there are parallels between this game and the FA Cup semi-final which we lost to Arsenal. The FA Cup semi-final which we lost to Arsenal. Who had the better chances? Arsenal played a rigid system, 5-3-2-5 at the back. Same what Carlo Ancelotti did. Arsenal replicated everything. Yes, they didn't have the long throw-ins, but apart from that, Arsenal replicated everything, looking to hit City on the counter. But the one thing which City, the one thing which City didn't do then against Arsenal was we were not clinical in this match. We were clinical, but there was a common theme in both the matches. The FA Cup semi-final last season against Arsenal and this match. What are the similarities? There are no special surprises for guessing because everyone knows the similarities in that game. Raheem Sterling had three gilted chances, three great chances, and he missed all of them. Exactly like today. Today, Raheem Sterling had one chance. That one chance could have cost us actually. That's why, Pep just removed Raheem Sterling, and he changed everything. That's why people say, why is Raheem Sterling left on the bench? Why is Raheem Sterling not given good enough game time? I mean, all the other attackers are clinical. Foden clinical, De Bruyne are clinical, Gundogan, the one of the most clinical and informed forwards in the entire Europe. Gabriel Jesus, the work rate and all, is clinical whenever he gets a chance. Most of the times he's clinical, but he does the work rate better than Sterling. Riyad Mahrez, the best informed left fingers in the world right now. So all of the attackers who are playing, Bernardo Silva clinical, all of the attackers who are playing are clinical. They don't scuff chances. But with Raheem Sterling, literally, even when you feed him to his mouth, it comes out. What can you do then? How much more can you do? You work the ball so well, and you create an open goal for Raheem Sterling, and still he misses it. What else can you do actually? That is why I think Pep is not giving him game time, and I'm a bit fearful as well. What in the big moments in the Champions League, that one moment you have to take. Otherwise, chances are in knockout competitions you'll just be thrown out. That FA Cup semi-final was a great example. It's good that we had Ruben Diaz, a better defense today. Otherwise, the Raheem Sterling shot would have really cost us. So Raheem Sterling was really crap today. Was not at all good, I would say. So Raheem Sterling had a really crap game. I think it's time for Pep to rethink what is real Sterling's pecking order. Is Ferran Torres ahead of Sterling, or what is it? What are the plans in the summer for Sterling? Will Pep sell him and bring uh, and another forward for Raheem Sterling, or something like this? So Pep needs to really think about it. Pep needs to really think about Raheem Sterling and his position in the side now. It's no longer secure. There was a time, even at the starting of this season, even at the mid of this season, that Raheem Sterling was a certainty. He was one of the first names of Pep Guardiola on the team sheet, but no more. Raheem Sterling is one of the most out of form players, I would say, for City right now. So overall, I would say a game which really tested our resolve, a game which really tested our perseverance, which really wanted us to dig deep into ourselves. Ancelotti, an experienced Champions League, three times Champions League winning Italian coaches. The tactical side of things, the way they construct the defenses are top notch, excellent. They're the best in the world. The defensive style of play, and Ancelotti showed all of his experience, all of his tactical knows of arranging the defense. It took really special things from Pep Guardiola to unlock this Everton defense. After the game, also Guardiola and Juan Malilo were walking off, laughing and thinking about the tactical change which they made, allowing Laporte to go front and put an other extra body into the box, and which really opened up space and allowed Gundogan to slot in. So I mean, seeing in this form, the only danger to City are themselves. We ourselves are the danger to us going on and achieving everything. But like Pep says, it's the next match which we should focus on first. Let us all hope that everyone comes from the international break without any injuries. I don't know why they're even playing international matches now. I mean, in the pandemic, first of all, there is there's a such a tight, congested schedule. But I don't know why people are. I mean, why the international matches are still going on. But anyway, so I hope we come back well from the international break. April is gonna be the defining month. We have Carabao Cup final. We have two Champions League quarterfinal matches against Dortmund. We can wrap up the Premier League in April. The FA Cup fixtures, the semi-finals will be, I think, will be played in April as well. So April is the defining month for me. I mean, everything we have done up to now in the season has been excellent, but then the end, the marathon is not completed until you cross the finish line, right? I mean, crossing the finish line or not is just a consequence of a performance. So it's good that we have destiny in our hands. We don't have to rely on anyone else, on any other team. It's and the way we are playing football, the way we are tactically set up, the way everyone is playing for each other, the way everyone is developing each other, making each other better. I think it's just us who can stop us. Complacency. Pep, when there are four trophies up for grabs, when you can do something in history that's been never done before in the world of football, I don't think complacency will be a reason. And also you look at the bench today, there are 10 players on the bench who if if we had assembled a team with would finish second in the Premier League, would certainly qualify for the quarterfinals of the Champions League. That's how much of a depth we have. So if one player doesn't play well, the other player comes in. So there's no question of complacency. The only thing is we need to believe in ourselves. As things come closer and closer, we should not feel the nerves. We should just remember that the only people who can stop us now are ourselves. If we can imagine, if we can dream, now is the time to start dreaming about all of the things we can achieve at the end of the season. Dream, but do not be lost in the dreams, perform. Work towards achieving your dreams. Perform towards, realizing your dreams. That is really important. That is the biggest lesson which we can learn in football, in sport, in life as well, from how City's season has gone, from how Pep Guardiola has really revitalized, revolutionized the way football is played. If you believe in something, it can be implemented. When Pep Guardiola came to England, no one believed that his style would work. It's a rough style and things like that in England. But Pep Guardiola believed in his fundamentals, believed in his fundamental principles, believed in who he was, believed in implementing his style of way, his way, believed in stamping his character and authority on the team. And that is how you build great empires. That is how you build great championships, by following the same path which the crowd is going, which everyone's going, by listening to all of the things which you put. It's a saying, you don't build empires. Maybe you can win 1 or 2 matches, 3 matches, but to build an empire, to build a dynasty, you need to have strong willpower, you need to have strong confidence, you need to believe in who you are, you need to be passionate, enthusiastic about it. More than anything else, you need to show the character in bad times. And Pep has done everything. Pep has done all of the things that I've mentioned about. Showed character, believed in who he is, and see, here we are on the cusp of achieving. I mean, I know there's still 2 months to go, but we are on the cusp of daring to at least dream of what we can achieve. I mean, it was quite ironical that today, I was just thinking, Pep Guardiola's first season at the same Everton's home ground, Goodison Park. I think Pep Guardiola lost 4-0 against Everton. And in the same ground, you're coming and you've put a step forward to move to the next round of a FA Cup. You've put a step forward to move closer to the dream of achieving the 4 trophies which no one has done in world football. So it is quite ironical. It shows that if you don't lose confidence, when Pep lost 4-0 in that season against Everton, his first season, he could have listened to everyone around him that, okay, football in England, maybe it is played that way. I'll also buy, physical strikers, I'll physical defenders. Yes, there has to be power, there has to be physicality to win a Premier League. Before Pep Guardiola came, what was winning a Premier League associated with? It was associated with power, it was associated with physicality, it was associated with getting into the faces of your opponents. But what has Pep done? Yes, they lost 4-0 against Everton, they lost 4-0 or 5-1 against Chelsea. They had suffered some scarring blows. They've suffered some crusades along the journey, right from the first season of Pep to now. So Pep has never for a moment lost belief in his ideas, his fundamental principles, and he has dared to dream that, yes, his style of play, his character, the way he sees the game, his vision can be implemented in a country when everyone around us saying no. And look at what Pep Guardiola has come to now. He's on the cusp of doing something that has never been seen in this country. Not, I mean, leave the English Premier League or leave England. He's on the cusp of doing something that has never been seen in world football at all. 4 trophies. Yes, Pep might play down, even I will play it down. It's the next match, but at least Pep has given us fans, Pep has given all of the players a chance to at least dream of that achievement, dream of that 4 trophies. We can do it. That's what Pep has given. It's hope. That is the most critical thing. Pep has given the hope, more than hope. Pep has given the courage to believe. Pep has given you the courage to dream big, do things that has never been achieved in this country. And the ironic thing is, that's a big lesson for us again in life, in football, in whatever you do. First season, people were on Pep's back. Lost to Everton 4-0, lost to Leicester, suffered some really bad defeats, lost to Monaco 5-5, lost or something. 6-6. Had a 2-goal lead from the first leg in the Champions League, but still went to Monaco and lost. People were saying, no, this style of football does not work. This cannot work in England. From the day that this cannot work at all, the style of play is not at all possible. 4 years down the line, suddenly you have a person following what he believed in and what the critics told cannot work. Suddenly he's persevered with that style, persevered with his fundamentals, and is suddenly on the cusp of achieving something really big. That is what dreamers do. That is what people who really achieve greatness do. They are great not because they're talented or something. They're great because they put in the hard work. More than hard work as well. They're great because they believe in their dream more than the world thinks they have the right to. They believe in their dream more than the world says you should dare to dream. When the critics are shouting around your back, when the critics are onto you, bumping you down, pushing you down into the ground, rubbing salt on your wounds, when there is darkness, still they believe in their dreams. And that is what Pep Guardiola is. That is what this Manchester City team is. We are dreamers more than anything else. Man, it's been really inspiring today to watch City again dig deep into themselves and persevere. And it has been inspiring to watch them, dare to dream, watch them suffer, work their backside off, and dare to dream, and still come out of this match victorious and dare to dream. That is what in the next 2 months. That is what we'll keep in mind. We can dare to dream, and we will dare to dream. That is what Pep Guardiola has shown us over the 4 seasons. That's what he has instilled in all of the players, in all of our fans, and that is what we'll do. So a wonderful game, great victory for City, and tomorrow's Sunday. So enjoy the weekend. Really a great, fantastic victory for City, and a fantastic weekend for all of us City fans and City players and Pep. I really hope you have enjoyed the video. If you've enjoyed the video, please click on the like button. And also do click on the subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you get notifications whenever I upload new videos. Again, enjoy the weekend and take care. See you.